What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Brown Fox Podcast. My name is Matt, and joining alongside me, as always, Joseph. How are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good. We've
That's
already
good.
had some chats on the microphone before we got started. So
Yes.
feeling all warmed up.
Oh, have you ever thought about being like a commentator, or I know it's similar what we're doing, but like being on the radio, doing anything? Because that was a nice voice.
Not really, eh? Not
Cool.
really.
Sweet.
No.
All right. So,
Have you?
look,
Give us your best radio
what do you want me to do?
announcer.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. Breakfast radio announcing. Just get it on.
This is going to be so bad. Good morning and welcome to The Breakfast Show with your hosts, Matt and Joseph, talking all things video. I don't know. I kind of just copied your sort of vibe though,
Okay. Yep.
but I have done, obviously, before this podcast, I've done a couple more podcasts before. Not that you guys will have any idea what they are, but
Isolation
Pitt,
Nation.
you are a scumbag. No, I have been told before that I do have a bit of a radio voice. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I prefer to be behind the camera, but you know, with a podcast like this, I don't mind being in front of the camera.
Well,
So,
there you go. See, you are a veteran. You have done podcasting more times than I have. And so,
you started this podcast many moons ago, and
yeah. Yep. Many moons.
Yes.
And somehow the moon has come again with it's set and it's come back up again. So
that's
we're
it.
back on.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to this episode 13. I think we're up to. We're getting up there. Time flies when you're.
Nice. Podcast is now teenager. Sounds
Yeah, that's a good phone. That's a good phone. I meant. Sorry, that's a good point. No, I meant to say now that it's a teenager, it can have a phone or something. I don't know. That was really weird.
good. Parenting tips with Matt.
Gosh. Look, as always, we're going to get straight on into the meat of the podcast. I'm not sure if do you have a dad joke ready to go? Do you want to go first?
Oh, mate, putting me on the spot. Well, I was with a bunch of lawyers the other day. Missed it.
You were with a bunch of lawyers the other day?
Yeah, and you know what lawyers say to each other when they're saying goodbye?
What?
I'll be suing you later.
That's not bad.
Suing. Yeah, you got to say it like suing. It doesn't really sound like seeing.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
I like that.
couldn't do it any better than that, unfortunately.
My one, you probably got me beat this week, honestly. Did you read it?
No, I just saw all the notes. It's like he's ready.
Got to come prepared, you know. Did you hear about the Italian chef who died? It's a bit of a sad story. He passed away.
Oh,
It's a bit
rest
dark.
in
It's a rest in.
rest in pasta.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say that, but like, nah. You said it.
Rip in pasta.
Oh God.
This is good. It's not working. You need to put
Sorry,
the volume
no,
up.
all good. That's
Wrong one.
I didn't have a fact of the day ready, but can you think of a fact of the day ready to go?
I did. That you didn't have a fact of the day ready.
Yeah, and that was fact of the day. Nah, how's your week been?
Yeah, it's been alright. It's only Tuesday,
Great.
so it's the
true.
first Tuesday in a while where we haven't had a long weekend.
True. Yeah, I was just gonna say, first 5-day week and seems like forever. What,
Yeah.
3 or 4 weeks.
No more fishing for you.
Well, I mean, there could be, but just not on a 3 or 4 day weekend. But I'll find a way.
Yeah,
Find a
but
way.
you're gonna get your magic round on the weekend.
Yeah, we've got the NRL Magic Round coming up this weekend. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Me too. I'm looking forward to your vlog.
Yeah, what
Matt's All
vlog?
Sports TV.
No.
He's gonna edit that out.
You know what? Just to keep it raw, I might actually leave it in. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
Subscriber count's gonna shoot up.
Yeah, but like one person.
Good content.
Yeah, I've lost my train of thought. Your week? No, my week's been all right. Thanks
Yeah.
for asking. It's
How's your week been, mate?
No, it's fine. It's been good. it was kind of weird coming in yesterday, which was Monday.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's an actual work day today. But that's all good. It was nothing better than seeing your beautiful face.
Oh,
So
thank you.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's been
Yeah, especially since on the weekend I was miles away.
Pun City.
In Miles, literally.
He stayed in Miles for a wedding on the Saturday. So
Yeah.
Miles
So I
away.
drove miles to get there and I'm back.
Just trying to think of more puns, but no, there's none.
There's nothing.
all right.
Nope.
That's
No, it was a little bit chilly out there. The wedding was in Chinchilla. It was a bit chilly.
it's a bit of a chilly one.
It sure was.
That's the one.
Sure was.
Look, I'd really love to talk today about we've talked about this lots of times, probably every episode, because essentially it's what we know and what we find the most value in. I want to talk more today about the real power of video and what different sorts of videos can do and in what way they can help different businesses with maybe different sort of pain points that they're having with their business, with customers or whatever it might be. So obviously, we know the power and the effect that video can have on a business, and we obviously create videos. We enjoy creating videos. We know others who do the same at a very high and strategic level. And I guess I'd love to talk today about, some of the key sorts of, or the key types of videos that would be super beneficial, or that'd be great for a business looking to utilize video in any sorts of ways, depending on the sorts of problems or pain points that they might be finding. What some different sorts of videos are that businesses could invest in, whether they have someone there in their business who could create them, or calling upon another video production company. What are some sort of some foundational videos or some good key videos that a business can utilize depending on certain different pain points that they might be finding in their business?
That's a good question. Really good question.
A bit of a long one, but yeah.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of ways you could go about talking about it, but like you have seen us do and the kind of work we already do for a lot of different businesses, is that we want to find out most of the time how are they actually, for example, from the top of the funnel of any business, you need to have customers paying money to you so that you can do what you do. So the very top of the funnel, we're talking about getting marketing and sales, which is very, very typically where people talk about using video content. So let's start there.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that we could talk for ages about any of it, but let's just start there. So imagine that somebody found your website, or they were doing, again, back to one of our old podcasts, people do their own research these days. So they find, either they knew about you or they found you on Google, and then they click onto your website. And so now they are on your website trying to do their own research as to, are you someone who can help them with their problem? So ideally, in a very, very high level, you could imagine the journey of somebody going through your website. At the top of the page, they're trying to find out who it is that you are. So potentially you could have a video there that explains who you are, what you do, why you do it, all of those things that essentially are your brand message. That could be some kind of a video that lives up there, very high level.
And I was going to say that's pretty much exactly or the type of video that we broke down the last episode.
That's right, yeah.
12, video business card or a brand story video.
Yep.
A video, yeah, it's pretty much showing who they are, what they do, and how they differ from others. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And so I'm using a very clear example on a website, but this is kind of the same as your customer journey, but let's put it on a website so people can imagine it rather than thinking of an arbitrary funnel.
Yeah.
So a website, and then they see who you are, they like it, they get what you do. So now they're scrolling a bit further through to see what it is that you can do specifically. So on some websites, you'd see a list of your services, or maybe if it's a product-based business, you'd see some products, a catalog, et cetera, et cetera. If it, is one particular product, then they'll talk about it on a website and you're doing your research. And then imagine if you saw now a video or a series of videos that broke down an individual service or an individual product or something that gave you more clarity on how they do this thing. So let's make this website now an accounting firm. I don't know why we always keep going to accounting firms. It must be like A to Z, A accounting.
That's a good point.
So accounting, you could say they do tax accounting, this accounting, that accounting. Let's talk tax accounting. Say, I want to get my taxes. I have some issues with taxes. So you click on this video that explains how they go about doing the tax accounting practices and what their method is and their approach. And that gives you more clarity into their process. So now you think, I wonder how other people have found this company to work with. So you scroll a bit further and you hypothetically see another series of videos that says, here's some case studies, or maybe not an accounting firm. This might not be the best example now, I feel like, but because there could be some things that are confidential. But let's just break it apart and go back to just generic business. So there's testimonials or case study type videos, for example, that could show the stories that people have been able to share with their experience, or the transformation from before they worked with this business to now after they work with this business. What are the real results? And so now this person browsing this website has a really good picture in their mind of what their life could be like after they work with this business that they've found. And then ultimately it leads to an action step of maybe booking in a consultation, having a chat, depending on what the business is. So that there is a very, very high level, very generic way you can imagine something like a video strategy taking place on a website. And those kinds of videos that I just alluded to are kind of, again, in that customer funnel, picturing, knowing about you, liking you, trusting you, or awareness, consideration, decision. There's all sorts of ways you can talk about the same thing. But if you can imagine having videos that allow a customer to experience the journey through your business to the end.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And then there's also like another kind of type of video, depending, if you feel you need it. There's also like a video or a video series, sort of like a frequently asked questions. You could even do like a video for one question per question, and it allows the customer or the client to sort of, it's a good video or video series for them to watch. And so in the hope that then maybe a certain amount of their questions have already been asked before actually going in for that, consultation or something like that. Or
Yep. So if we're still picturing that journey of someone leading to getting a consultation, this is that example specifically. So that's another way that you can utilize videos. So a lot of people's time, if you're in a service-based type business where you have to do consultations, etc., a lot of time is generally wasted in spending time answering the same questions that you would for most people. So imagine if you had another series of videos that allowed you to tackle what people would mostly ask you, so that their questions are answered. By the time they get into your consult, you're actually talking about what needs to be talked about. This is where video can be applied in that customer funnel. So again, a video strategy for any business will look different because every business has a different scale, different size, type of customer, et cetera, et cetera. There could be any number of videos that populate each stage of the customer journey. But this is a very simplified way to look at it. Is a business can look at the stages where their customer journey exists or what the customer will need to walk through, and essentially just make some piece of video asset that will answer any objections that they might have along the way. And that's one way to think about it. And if you can ask yourself, just put yourself in the mind of your customer, then you think about what they need to know to make a decision to work with you. If you can answer those questions on a video and give them that information, then your time
saves a lot of time.
Your time, in those end consultations might be a lot more valuable because you essentially if they watched it, they get a lot of what they need to ask before they get in the meeting with you.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. No, I mean, personally, I find real value in, especially obviously all these videos, but especially, testimonial videos, because I think there's nothing like, if you're looking into doing business with a certain business or brand and being one of their customers, sort of thing. There's nothing like watching a video and being able to see other customers like you, their experience with them, because it's one thing for VBC or an explainer video to clearly show what they do and what they're sort of about, but it's another thing for then other people to share their experiences about them.
So like even in your world and your life, like maybe where have you needed to use video to help you with a decision?
I think if we're obviously both in video and non-video related, if we're kind of talking video for a second, if there's a new camera or there's a piece of editing software or computer, it's awesome to watch videos on them, but it's then another thing to sort of watch videos on other people's experiences with them, with that piece of product. And it's good to see like a real life experience from someone else's point of view, and that can really be the make or break, sort of thing. And I think there's real power and value.
So have you sort of made a decision based off watching a video before?
I can't think of a specific example right now, but I'm sure I definitely have. I'm trying to think. Yeah, probably. I can't think of like a specific example. I mean, take for example my current camera that I got a few years back, the Canon T100. Back then it was the bee's knees. Now it's kind of it's all right. Anyways, that's another podcast.
The bee's butt.
Let's go with that.
The bee's stinger, which has already been used.
That's the one.
The bee's dead. It's not good. No.
But I'm sure I watched hours and hours and hours of videos of other people's experience with that camera, and really anything that I've bought that I've wanted to put a lot of research into. A lot of my research whenever I want to buy a particular product or piece of equipment, if I want it to be the right decision and I'm kind of tossing up between maybe one or the other, I'll do lots of research. I'll watch lots of videos on the product itself, facts about it, but then also other customers' experiences with it.
Yep.
And it's good to see that kind of second opinion, that point of view from other people. And I've definitely made, just like the Canon C100, I think I definitely watched hours of those type of testimonial videos.
Yeah, and if you can picture yourself, because again, I feel like this conversation is kind of talking about the customer's journey and how any business needs customers. So you think about where all you have to do in a way is put yourself in the mind of one of their customers, one of your own customers, and ask yourself, what would they be wanting to know? What would they be needing to experience or know that would make it a no-brainer to engage our services or buy a product? So if you think about how you were doing all of that research, like when you were in that mode of consuming and wanting to learn, you were going directly to people who were sharing their experiences. You were engaging with reviews and testimonials, probably.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hearing.
100%. Yeah, for sure.
So is there anything in particular that would have swayed you one way or the other just off a video? Is that kind of like...
Yeah, I think obviously, seeing and hearing about what they say about it, but then also like if you see them in a video, them actually putting it to use themselves as well, and seeing that real life action, it's one thing for someone to talk about a camera, but it's another thing for them to actually use it. And then they also show specific footage that they shot with that camera on screen. It's like, this is it. You know, this is what it looks like, and
Yeah.
this is the perks of it. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's one of those, this is, again, this conversation might start morphing now off the beaten track a little bit. But like, again, for us, I think it's important for us to be studying our own behavior when it comes to content consumption, because that can tell us a lot about how other people. So for example, this is going to be a real life example, right? What's a hobby that we have recently been taking up?
Here we go. Golf.
This is, So we're going to unpack this live at the moment.
Oh,
So
I like this.
So what have you been doing recently? Practically, you've been going out, me and you.
Yep.
Been using we've gotten some clubs.
Yep.
And so what are we doing with them? We're heading out.
Heading out to the driving range,
Yep.
into the course, and practicing.
Yep, absolutely. So what happened? What's been happening in our own experiences other than, so for me, getting some pretty seriously bad hooks. Not video hooks, some pretty bad hook on my shot, and you're hitting some slices.
The slices, so
I can't get
opposite.
loft on my shots with the irons.
Yeah, I'm just slicing it.
And it's a real pain, man.
Yeah.
Genuinely. So
Yeah.
you're at the driving range, and what are you doing?
I'm watching videos of someone in
Legitimately.
particular with my earbuds in, and you're doing the same. And,
We're both getting taught on the fly how to fix our shots.
don't worry about in-person lessons. We're going to watch videos from someone on the other side of the world teaching us how to play golf.
Well, this is where I'm heading with this, right?
Yeah.
So it's off the beaten track a little bit, and it's another way that you can imagine videos getting used within your context. But now, who's this person? What's his name?
Shout out Rick Shields. He's a PGA professional. He lives in the UK, pretty sure, just judging by his accent.
Yep.
But he has a YouTube channel solely devoted to golf. Nothing more, nothing less. He has a podcast about golf. So, you know.
So if I say golf, the word golf, who's the first person that you think of?
Rick Shields.
And so this here, again, off the beaten track could be, and probably should be its own topic. But when we're talking about what video should a business or should a brand? So let's talk about it in a broader sense. So every business has a brand. Rick Shields is his own personal brand. It is his business as well.
Yeah.
But it's a brand. So
Yeah.
they're getting their brand presence out very strongly. Now you think of golf, you think of Rick Shields personally, and so do I in some respects and some others, because we got value from their actual videos. And so once a business has completed the run of creating things that a customer needs to know in order to make a decision to work with them. So all of these, like, think about what it takes for all the questions to be answered about working with this person or business. Now the opportunity exists to go out and broaden their reach and to be the authority in this arena. So Rick Shields is an authority. He's the thought leader in the world of golf. He didn't just make one video. He didn't just make 2 or 3. He's made probably hundreds now. And it's part of his strategy. So to the point where I would bet my bottom dollar that if it really came down to, and we were watching his videos, and all of a sudden he puts out a $5, $10 product, there is a high likelihood that, $5 how to fix your slice video series.
Say no more.
Bam, purchase. We're in.
Yeah.
He's built that authority, and that's it's an approach that I haven't seen a lot of businesses take.
Yeah.
When it's a proper company or anything. It's more of seeing people using it around their personal brand. But that's the approach that one of our clients currently is actually taking, is that they've committed to using YouTube as a platform to build their authority. So if you type in things in their industry, which in their world is pet supplies, for example, then YouTube actually will pick up, because that they're uploading quite frequently.
Yeah.
And their videos will start to make them known as, if you could potentially binge watch their content if you loved your pets, for example.
Yeah.
That now they have that authority in your mind because they've answered so many questions if you're a consumer of that content.
Yep.
But again, that's its own podcast, I think. And it starts though with a foundation of things that if you are going to spend some time making videos, start with the fundamentals first, if you can, because these are the things that if someone found you as a business and you weren't actively looking for someone, if they found you, what would they see when they look to do their research? And that is probably where like those first couple of videos we were talking about make the most sense.
Yeah, for sure. No, we'll definitely have to flesh this more out on another podcast. Definitely talk more about Rick Shields. I definitely won't say no to that. But yeah, let us know if you want to come out for a day of golf with us. That'd be much appreciated. Absolutely. All two of them who are watching,
for sure. Yeah, we'll leave the PayPal link.
Yeah,
leave the donation button.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask you, kind of going back to what we were originally talking about, and I wanted to ask, what are some of the most common pain points that you've seen or you've found that businesses come across in their own business, their own company, that we feel that certain types of video really has the power to help fix those problems?
I mean, the very first one that comes to mind is that people don't know who we are.
Yeah.
People don't understand what we do or how we do it. People don't understand what makes us so different, or we're not attracting the correct audience.
Yeah.
We're not, it's a lot of them for the most part, again, because video is so associated with that marketing and sales part of getting customers in, then that's where a lot of the pain points lie, and that we just need to get the message out correctly to the correct people that connects correctly, connects well and builds trust and allows customers to make it obvious that they're the right choice. And that's that whole suite of videos that we were talking about there.
Yeah.
Other things that people have, sometimes they don't present as problems, they just present as actual, we've thought about creating this product specifically as a video, like a video course. So again, that's kind of self-explanatory. You need to be creating, high level video production in order to, put professionally presented learning materials together. So that's its own thing. But I guess I'm kind of working through in my brain, thinking out loud. And other things that we spend too much time. That's the thing. It's a lot of the key pain points that I'll hear a lot of the time are that people don't get it, or we don't have time to, or we're not getting the right customers, or not getting enough customers, or essentially what video can do, again, we've talked about it before, is it can help to increase sales overall, can help to increase your time in your business and build better relationships. So a lot of the root causes are things of those three in some sense not happening correctly. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I like how you put that. That's good.
Yeah. And so we can talk forever about how many different ideas there are.
Yeah.
But it comes down to what an individual business requires.
And where they're sort of at in their business.
Absolutely. Yeah. And sometimes they will have enough budget to put towards creating something professionally, and sometimes they won't. When it comes to the types of videos, I feel there is, again, we've sort of said it before, but I feel like the closer a message is to the heart of a business in terms of trying to make sure that it's not misconstrued, that it's presented as best as possible, I think that's where it's most important to look to professional video production, because you want to be represented well. And that's could be any videographer as long as it's done well. And then the ongoing, just creating content for any part of your business, of internally, externally, just on an ongoing basis, it's just, as long as businesses know that there isn't just, you only need to make these videos and you're set for life. Like, video is the currency of attention now. We've spoken about that before as well. People need to just be creating all the time. The moment that they stop is the moment that they've started losing potential market share because other people are creating.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just the truth. It's just, you know, you watch enough Gary Vaynerchuk and you watch enough of the people who talk about this all the time, you start to understand that, you know, once you get the fundamentals of things that you need, you still need to be creating. Doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Doesn't stop if you want to stay relevant.
Yeah.
That's the big conditional thing. If you want to stay relevant, then keep making video content. And if you don't, then just stop.
Yeah. 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 100%. 100%. No, I find real value in a particular client that we're working with at the moment, the Pet Supplies client, and we're, you know, just creating some monthly YouTube videos for them. And the videos that we're tackling at the moment is commonly asked, frequently asked questions that they're just making 2 to 3 minute videos about. And again, it goes back to, you know, it saves time, and it saves you having to, I guess, repeat yourself over and over again, or yeah, I don't know. And it's just a quick, easy sort of YouTube search. Oh, why is chocolate bad for dogs? You know, and there it is. Watch it. Okay, sweet. You know, to the point. And yeah, I find real value in those sorts of videos. But obviously, honestly, all the videos that we have covered today and that we create and any sort of production creates, you know, depending on what the business and brand is after and what sort of problems they're facing. And yeah, we find real value in finding out how we can, or you know, how we can help a business, a brand, fix that with video. Yeah.
So again, to just recap without losing track of the conversation, any business should ask themselves first, what do our customers need to know about us? As a very baseline, if they knew these things about us and it was perceived well, they would be able to engage. They would engage us. Those are the questions that they need to start asking first.
Yeah.
If they want to think overall as an overarching video strategy. Once that's set in stone and you feel like they've got what they need there, then the question can transition into how do we become an authority in this space? How do we become the leading? We show up.
Yeah.
And this is another, again, we'll unpack this in another topic completely.
Yeah.
But this is where the social media strategy comes into play with video. And this is where things like YouTube really matter. If you have that approach of becoming a thought leader.
Yep.
Because like you were saying before with again, this pet supplies company and everything like this. And I can think of a Brisbane-based mortgage broker that comes to mind immediately, because when I started asking questions on YouTube about how to get house loan, how to this, that, they were the ones that showed up because they created the content. They did it pretty well and they looked like they knew what they were talking about. They were local to Australia.
There you go.
Watched at least a dozen of their videos, provided real value. And if it wasn't for the fact that I have very trusted mortgage brokers in my circle that I know personally, I potentially would have hit them up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a real world example, because they took the thing is, man, this again, I keep saying it's going to be another topic because it kind of is. But when you're talking about authority building, you're talking about a very long-term view of where will you show up online when people ask these problems. When they're asking the questions for a vet supplier of why does my dog drag its bum on the ground? As funny as that sounds, people ask that question. Yeah. Where will it show up in Google? If you type it in Google, Google is the be-all and end-all when it comes to searchability. Forget about Bing for now. Like Bing still exists. Yes, DuckDuckGo, I think, still exists.
Hey, I use that sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah. But Google is where most people are searching for the actual things. Yeah. Where does it pick up? Google owns YouTube. So YouTube is not just entertainment. YouTube is a search engine.
Sorry, just butt in quickly. I did read today's fact of the day. I just see we got one. I found out the other day on a website that, and that's fair. It's a that's fair moment, but
that's fair.
That's fair. YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world. Google being number one.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
Just wanted to add that in with what you were
Thank you.
saying, because it's like Google's number one, yes, but then video's number two, YouTube video search engine.
But yeah, and just to, again, I already said it just before, but Google owns YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
So YouTube essentially is Google video.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so if you're ranking on YouTube, you're ranking in Google. It's its own strategy. And like I said, it's things like that people have to think of from a broader perspective as to why video actually matters today.
Yeah. And
that's where we were talking about that authority building. You want to, if you want that reach, you want to start showing up. And if you're doing it before, if you're an early adopter and there's not many people in your space doing it, and you do it and just consistently make that value content, it's not going to be, you're not going to get instant wins. Maybe you will, maybe a video will go viral. Even if you look at, again, our friends who are in the pet supplies, you look at the views, and I'm going to be doing personally a bit of a strategy session with them to just unpack the analytics a bit more of everything. But you look at, there's 1 or 2 videos that spike in terms of views because they actually are searched, and they were product reviews specifically.
Yeah.
But doesn't matter that doesn't matter in terms of you know now what people are searching for to start with.
Yeah.
But they have the authority. Imagine if someone looked at that video and then found their YouTube channel and realized it answered everything else they needed to know.
Exactly.
And it's value first.
Exactly right. It kind of goes back to just quickly what we were talking about earlier with Rick Shields and golf and everything. He's built that authority up so that when you research something about golf, anything about golf, I guarantee you in my personal experience, how to fix your slice, how to fix your life, how to fix your slice, guarantee you, I would say 4 out of the 5 top videos would be his, if not the first 5 of how many thousands of videos of how to fix your slice. Anyways, it's kind of going back to, and it goes for anything, everything, if you built that authority with video,
Nice.
Don't want to repeat anything you said, but
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll talk about that on a future podcast.
For sure. And with that, I think that's a perfect way to end the podcast once again. Thank you so much for being my co-host today.
Thank you.
On episode 13. Really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Really hope you found lots of value out of it. Comment down below if you want to come and have a round of golf with us. We would really love to have you along and show you how to hit in the bunkers.
Yep.
And the water.
Hit some slices.
Yeah, keep it down.
And if you did find something valuable, then please leave a time-stamped comment so we know where it is in the video.
Yes.
Know what people are interested in knowing more about.
But what if they're listening on Spotify?
Well,
head to our Facebook page, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, all the socials, and keep listening on Spotify.
Just send us a friendly message if it's on Spotify.
For sure. Thank you so much, guys, for listening and watching. Really hope you have an awesome rest of your week or weekend whenever you're listening to this. And any final thoughts?
No.
Great. We'll see you in the next episode. Thanks, guys.
Fox is out.
Hey. That was a horse.